Welcome to On the Chain.
Okay, here we go. So this is Brad Garlinghouse, Charlie Gasparino, Liz Claman talking today. Great conversation.
There we go.
Listen, it's the same with the U.S. dollar. Appropriate activity, inappropriate activity. Joining us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple, related to XRP. Brad would know a thing or two about this, along with Charlie Gasparino.
I know nothing. He knows everything.
I know nothing.
I love it. Yeah, replay that. I love the introduction for Brad Garlinghouse and how she says XRP. I mean, that we should be able to clip that out and play that, you know, all the time. This is awesome.
Yeah, it's delicious, actually, isn't it? And I and you know what? I gotta say, Charlie's looking pretty good because we haven't. He's usually like dressed down. He put the suit jacket on. When Garlinghouse comes to town, he's like, "I'll be in the studio." He's not going to do this remote. He's going to be in the studio talking. Look at the face that Brad makes right there. It's kind of.
I like that tie, the tie shirt combination that Gasparino's got on. It's really nice.
Yeah,
I like that tie.
Charlie looks sharp, but Brad always looks sharp. You know,
he looks like $1 million.
Let's do this.
U.S. dollar, appropriate activity, inappropriate activity. Joining us now on the set, CEO of leading enterprise blockchain company Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse. Yes, of course, Ripple, related to XRP. Brad would know a thing or two about this, along with Charlie Gasparino.
I know nothing. He knows everything.
I know nothing. What do you make of what Powell said? He kind of gave it to both sides.
What did he say, though? Did he say anything?
It's not entirely clear. By the way, I do want to start by just saying that I and the team at Ripple feel so strongly about like standing with the people of Ukraine, and I just want to put that out there. Sure. But my comment as I listen to some of the things I hear out of Washington is just I fear that there's a lack of knowledge. There's a lack of information about how crypto really works. And I think it does a disservice to responsible actors like Ripple who are working with governments, with sanctions. Everything that is enforced from a sanction point of view through fiat currency, anything that Ripple does is enforced in the exact same way. And so there's no different level playing field. And I think in some ways, I heard Senator Warren saying things yesterday that felt like it's holding crypto to a different standard and expecting, for example, a blanket ban of all crypto in some of these countries in a way that, like, well, you can still.
Let me just stop it right here because this drives me insane every time. Every time it happens, you got Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, in the studio, not remote, not in his dining room, wherever he shoots these from. And what do they flash on the screen? 3 cryptos. The price of exactly. It's they have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Litecoin. Dude, Litecoin, there's like 30 other ones that I would put up there. I mean, I put XRP only because you have Brad Garlinghouse, but seriously. All right, let's.
And they're getting all those from Bitstamp too, which is interesting. You know, it's almost. I feel like, unfortunately, you know, when they're posting this stuff, we're reliving 2017.
Exactly. It's so bizarre to me.
It's very bizarre.
PayPal, you can still use these, you know, some of these other things, and I don't think we should treat them differently.
Ripple is like Swift, isn't it?
Yes, I mean, Ripple's starting point, kind of our first use case for the technology, the blockchain technology, and the digital asset XRP was to solve that cross-border payments problem.
Right.
Swift is quite antiquated, kind of designed 50 years ago. It's slow, it's expensive, but it is a choke point that the governments use to enforce sanctions. My point is, nothing that Ripple is doing circumvents any of that.
So you're following the sanctions exactly? Like, for example, it's like, what, 8 banks, but a couple can still trade through it theoretically?
Correct. The sanctions are applied through what I'll call the choke points, the on-ramps and off-ramps. That's true for Swift. That's true for Ripple. Regardless of what I'll call just the plumbing of how things are moving, the choke points are the endpoints. So I think, you know, when I step back and look at this, I think there is a lack of knowledge. I think people need to understand that crypto isn't this kind of black box. It's kind of back from when it was known as Silk Road. The industry has come a long way.
So an oligarch, or let's just say Vladimir Putin, couldn't finance tanks through Bitcoin.
Look, one of the things that people don't realize is there's just not enough liquidity.
Yeah.
Russia used to trade pre-sanctions $50 billion of cross-border kind of transactions per day. Crypto does not have anywhere near that. So, look, in the same way that somebody could be taking wheelbarrows of rubles or the Ukrainian currency across to Poland and things like, there are ways you could do that, but it's really not significantly dissimilar.
Why are they so obsessed with it then? It's like so weird.
I think it's a kind of clickbait. It's a hot item. I think people, it adds a relevance and excitement around some of these things, but I think people don't understand.
Well, we had spoken to Gary Gensler of the Securities and Exchange Commission. I know you saw that interview because we were emailing afterward about it, but he specifically tried to say that he wants to very much focus on what's a security and what is an actual token, a cryptocurrency. I feel like if that's the case and he's holding you to that standard, at some point he's going to have to go after Ether as well, because Ether and Ethereum are those two very similar paths, just like XRP and Ripple, are they not?
Look, I think that's absolutely true. I don't want to comment on what they should or shouldn't do. I think as it relates to Ethereum, my view is it's very clear Ethereum's a currency. It's very clear XRP is a currency, and that the SEC. I mean, he was interviewed yesterday. Gary Gensler was, or maybe it was even this morning, and commented that, hey, we're going to lose some cases. This is the definition of regulation by enforcement.
He was going to lose. You think he was saying he's going to lose your case?
I don't know what he was saying. I think but he did say, hey, we're going to lose some, and we're okay with that. That's the definition.
Where are you on the case? Let's get an update.
The quick update, on Monday was the last day of expert testimony, expert depositions, et cetera. And so the case continues to move forward. We're expecting some decisions from the court, sooner rather than later as it relates to a couple of decisions before the court. But look, it's moved slowly. I think Gary Gensler has continued to kind of go with a narrative that crypto is the Wild West. It's not the Wild West. Are there bad actors? Yes, there's bad actors in all parts of...
Well, bad actors in money laundering and U.S. dollars.
Right. I found it fascinating from reading the documents for all the stuff they said about how bad it was that you did an unregistered securities. They never say anything bad about your platform. Why is that? I mean, because it's nothing bad.
Well, the irony there is, we were in the SEC's offices. I met with Chairman Clayton. I was meeting with commissioners. No one ever once said, hey, we think XRP is a security. And they'd look backwards and say, now we think it's all a security. That's a hard argument.
Please come back. Brad Garlinghouse of Ripple. We are coming right back. Charlie,
confidence.
As well.
Hear that confidence?
Yeah.
You hear that confidence in his voice? He is fired up. He's excited. Talking about Gary Gensler talking about losing some. What cases right now, other than Library and this case against Ripple, are really getting any kind of notoriety in the space? I don't know.
And of course, the last thing he said is he met with Chair Clayton a couple times. Never said, hey, by the way, XRP is a security. Yeah, that got stepped on with the music.
Why is that? I mean, because it's nothing bad.
Well, the irony there is, we were in the SEC's offices. I met with Chairman Clayton. I was meeting with commissioners. No one ever once said, hey, we think XRP is a security.
Because it's not. That's why. It's a whole thing, man. It's a whole damn thing. My gosh.
And then he's saying, how difficult is it now to have to go back and try to prove that case?
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.